Hello, this is Brian McHenry of McHenry Software. This is a continuation of some of the investigation of the crash tests performed at the Pennsylvania State Police Reconstruction Seminar. And in this brief video, we're going to show you how you can bring in a DXF to scale the overhead. As you recall, in our first video, we brought in a overhead of the parking lot where the test was run, and we scaled that based on the approximation for the lane width of the parking spaces. Now what we're going to do is bring in a actual drawing. Before we do that, here I want to just show you a couple of the other videos that we have. Here's some overheads. We will further refine our reconstruction and also do the other tests. There was 2 tests done at that, but for now we're going to show you how to bring in a DXF. So there's 2 ways that we can bring in a DXF file. One way is here on the icon up here for adding either a blank terrain, terrain from image, terrain from map, terrain from DXF file, or point cloud. We could go here and bring it. That brings it in as a separate ground. The other way is that when we click on the ground, you notice there's icons over here to the right, and one is for the picture, which we already did. Another one is for a drawing overlay, and then how you can go ahead and go in and set elevations, etc. We're going to go here and grab the drawing overlay, and we click, and here we have I put in a scale factor in there. And you notice now when we bring it in, let's go ahead to overhead. You see there's a lot of information on it. Well, one of the things you do, first thing is we want to get rid of a lot of the text. And we're working on having the text blocks, different colors and things like that. There we go. Now notice we have these that we're positioned a little different. So the first thing we can do is we go ahead and move our see that as we move it, the DXF moves relative to the picture. So let's go up to about 25. Up to 35. Let's try 30. Now, one thing we seem to have is a scaling issue. If we look on that actual DXF from the CAD program, we found that the distance between this line here and that line there is 24.7 feet. And so that should be the distance from here to here. So we click on that drawing. We bring up the bitmap. We scale it, and we say 24.7 here to here. 24.7. Now you see we have to now go ahead and adjust where our DXF is. So it's at 32. Let's try at 25. See, that's getting a little better. 24. See, we have a pretty good match. Now we look at, now one of the next things we see is the tire marks are actually to the left. How we adjust that is we click on this, and you see these, this will adjust everything. So we can move up and down like that. So we move so that the tire marks, let's go ahead and get a little closer. Tire marks are approximately in the same path. So now when we run through, if that's the rest position, then the other thing is we probably want to move this back to about here. There we go. So now we zoom back out, and now we look at it. We say have a pretty good match. There's some adjustments we can do on the path. You notice the tire marks are a little different. And then also at the position of rest, let's go to the position of rest here. You see that this is where they indicate the axle is. And you see that we're not quite as far. And our tire marks, see the crossover point is a little off. So we're going to work on adjusting that. But this is just to show you how to sandwich a DXF and a bitmap. And one other item to mention is that you can turn on and off that. See, here we have both line drawing, and we can turn that off by, see the little show hide drawn entities? We can turn it off, and now you have, and you can turn it on. So that way if you go and measure a scene and you have it, you can show it with it to demonstrate how you correlate with the dimensions that were found at the scene with your overhead, and then you can turn it off so that you show just the car when you go down to ground level or something. Again, we can turn it on, turn it off. There it is. You see that you can have it on or off. And that's how you work with DXFs and bitmaps. Thank you for watching.